Hello again. So I'm up late. It's after midnight now, and I'm just feeling like I really want to get these videos made because I haven't put one up in a while, and I've got lots to show you guys. So I finished. I just moved, and that's part of it. And I'm still feeling somewhat discombobulated and disorganized and whatever, but trying to get things set up the way I had them at my old house and um, wondering where did I put all of this stuff at my old house. I don't understand it. It doesn't seem to um, fit here, and there's a lot more space. So anyway, I'll figure it out. But in the meantime, I have not felt incredibly inspired to work on anything creative, but that's okay. I'm sure it'll come back. But I have finished up a few journals that I had started before I moved, and so I thought, baby steps, and I'll try to get those finished and get them posted and listed and out there in the world. So this is the second journal that I wanted to show you guys tonight. I started making this a long time ago, and I really like the way it came out. It's a ring-bound journal. So one of the reasons that I don't like ring-bound journals is that they're really awkward when you get a lot of stuff in them, and it's really difficult to kind of manage that, especially the way I make journals where, I just pack a whole bunch of stuff inside of them. So one of the things that I figured out is that it's the way that the cover doesn't bend or anything. Like there's no give to it at all, and it just gets stuck on the curve of the ring. So I came up with this idea to kind of make the covers sort of flexible and expandable almost. And so I came up with this thing where I basically made these two pieces that are attached to the ring actually hinged to the covers, and it seemed to work out pretty well. Like it's actually kind of neat, and it's pretty fat. There's a lot of stuff in there, and I could probably get a lot more in there, or whoever winds up with this book could get a lot more of their own stuff in there. Look how much is in this book. For a ring-bound journal, that's pretty snazzy. Anyway, so I like the way it works. So I just kind of finished this up tonight, and all I needed to do really was put the closure on it, and I added this little book plate on the front with a little quote. It's from that Tim Holtz collection of sticker quotes. It says, "I lived beneath the open sky," and I like that. And I just coated it with some triple thick and glued it on with that as well. So, and then just a little knob as a closure, like a post, and seam binding. This is real old seam binding. This isn't new seam binding that it's really old, and I just have a thing about that anyway. So rather than using ball chain as the closure, I wanted to kind of soften up the book just a little bit by using the seam binding. But I always like to use at least one of these little charms on my books. So I thought I'd just put a little eyelet there and hang a chain off of it so that you could do that, or I could do that, or whoever could do that. Anyway, and you know, you can always attach other things on the rings and stuff like that and really junk this book up. So yeah, I love the way that these hinges work, and I don't know where pretty sure I got them at Hobby Lobby. They're with the stuff where you can like the woodworking stuff, like for people who like to make little like jewelry boxes and stuff like that. So that's where I found these, and they're just attached using these big silver brads. So I like the way it turned out. It's sort of industrial, and the cover is actually an old Reader's Digest book. And anybody who is familiar with those will recognize those patterns on the covers. They're always kind of cool. I like them. So anyway, we'll do a flip through on this book, and you can see just how much stuff I got in here. And I do like ring bound books because there is one thing I do like about them, and that is that you can definitely use up a lot of paper that you know, is too small to fold in half and attach in a signature and stuff like that. You know, if it'll fit in the hole punch or the 3-ring punch, then it works. Anyway, so here we go. So I made a whole bunch of kind of like library pockets, and a little while ago, a couple months ago, and so I've been using those in a lot of my journals on the front and the back. So I'm just going to flip through this pretty quick. One of my little cluster tag things. I never know which way these things are going to open. I can't remember. And this also is open there, so you can do that as well. And I kind of went a little crazy one night and painted a whole bunch of paper flowers, because a lot of times I buy those that it's like a canister, like a tennis ball size can of tennis balls come in those cans. Anyway, it's about that size, the Prima flowers. And a lot of the time I don't really like the patterns or the colors and stuff. So, but that's okay. Like, I'll just paint them. And so I wound up making a whole bunch of flowers, and kind of layered them up and put them together with brads and things like that. So, and I just have these right here by my desk, so I can just pick them up as I need them. I used a lot of metallic paints on these, and this container is mainly just the smaller ones. I did put some large ones in here, but this is generally the smaller ones. So sometime maybe we could do some kind of video about that and kind of what my process is for doing that. It's kind of fun. So anyway, I just kind of stuck them all throughout the book, and I thought it was a little plain, so I wanted to kind of doll it up a little bit. And I stuck these little like pocket pages throughout the book. So lots of just random paper in here. This is some really heavy cardstock that I coffee dyed, but while the paper was wet with coffee, I crinkled it up and just like really scrunched it up tight, and then laid it out on the tray to dry in the oven. And I really like what happened to it. It's got a really nice texture, and it's kind of cool. It feels really old. And I'm sure you'll recognize some of these papers in here. And where I felt it was necessary, I used reinforcements on the pages. Not all of them, but you know, the ones where I felt like the paper was real thin or whatever. Like on here, this is that onion skin paper, so definitely needed some reinforcement. Some of those little flowers, I just love them. Oh, wait a second. There we go. I try to have a nice balance of, and you'll notice I rounded pretty much all of the corners on every page in this book with the 1/2 inch round. But I try to have a nice balance of pattern paper to, you know, plain paper that is good for journaling. See, I like that. You can use these, you know, excuse me, yawning, some of these pretty small pieces of paper in your journals. Ring bound. They're nice. Postage stamps. I love me some postage stamps. And just little random pieces of fabric and lace and doily and stuff like that, just attached with the tiny attacher. Kind of through the whole book. Not a ton of pockets in this, but that's okay. I guess, you know, this would be more for somebody who's really into journaling and writing, you know. And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm really tired, but I am really tired actually. But I really wanted to get these done. I'm going to use up every bit of the coloring book paper that I coffee dyed before I die. That might be how long it takes. It's another piece of that black paper out of the old family photo album. And I just use the reinforcements on the front, you know, of these. I feel like that's enough. I mean, you got to be a little bit careful as you're turning your pages. Just watch what you're doing. Kind of exciting, actually. I got a message from an editor with Stampington and Company that asking if I wanted to submit one of my junk journals for publication, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like in their like green magazine. It's for crafters that are using upcycled and recycled materials. So one of the journals that I have in my Etsy shop. So I decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to send it in, and we'll see what happens. That would be pretty cool, I think. I mean, who would think that, you know, you get something published in a magazine just making journals out of basically garbage. Well, it's not really garbage, but you know what I mean. I love these cards from that game. I don't know what this game was, but I do love these cards. Some old game from a garage sale. And then these little chemistry formula flashcards. I don't know. There was like 1,000 of them in the box, so again, I'm determined to use those also. I love that onion skin paper. And I feel like one of these days the universe is going to bring another box of that paper into my life, because I've almost used all of it that I have. I've started getting kind of stingy with it, actually. I use purple ink on this for some reason. This is some paper from World Market, Cost Plus World Market, like in their greeting card like area. They have some cool papers. Some of those flowers that I painted and layered up. And a postcard. Oh, this is in Pasadena. That's where my mom was born. Or no, that's not where she was born. That's where she grew up. I was born pretty near there in Sierra Madre. Oh, this is from another coloring book. Project Life cards. Yeah, I'm a tired little lamb. Not extremely bubbly tonight, I guess, huh? I think I'm going to go in late to work tomorrow, actually. It's another one of those, you know, cards where I Mod Podged a picture onto the... This is file folder paper. And that image is out of a design book where you can print off the images from a CD. Old card. Some play money. I need to go to the dollar store and get some more play money. Alright, so there's that book. And I mean, seriously, a person could probably fit easily another at least 1.5 or 2 inches of stuff in this book. I mean, it could just keep getting, like, you know, bigger and bigger, and you would still be able to close it. You'd have to adjust the binding, or the closure. Anyway, you know what I mean. All right, so there's that one, and I'm gonna try to have this one as well as the other journal that I just did a flip through of right before this one. I'm gonna try to have them listed by Sunday. So I know it seems like I should already have them listed, but for some reason I've started making the videos first before I list them because it's kind of the most difficult part. I don't know. So I'm just trying to get it out of the way before I do the listing. So, but there's lots of other books on my shop, lots of other journals, and I have a feeling somebody's going to really like this one, and well, hopefully, and so I'll definitely try to get it listed pretty soon as I can. If you go to my shop and you don't see it there, you can send me a message and and ask about it. I'm going to name it Beneath the Open Sky. So if you don't see it there, then send me a message and that'll kind of prompt me to get it in there. So anyway, okay, there's number 2 for the night. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right. And if you have any questions, definitely ask. I'm trying to get better about checking my notifications on YouTube. So, if I don't respond like immediately, please understand that I'm just not real accustomed to checking my notifications there. So, but I'm trying. So, and I do appreciate your guys' support a lot. It means a lot. So, have a good night.